Hi guys, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is my hope strategy for Wednesday, Winning Wednesday, God's Words of Wisdom Wednesday. But to tell you the truth, I'm just giving commentary on some of the things that are on my mind. I was working from home. As you guys know, I'm working from home kind of sort of this week because of an injury. And so while working from home, I was, seeing the news cycles with Mark Zuckerberg giving testimony around the Facebook breach, the 87 million Facebook users' data that was hacked or harvested by a quiz app. And y'all know, first of all, I love quizzes, and especially when something is, what is your purpose or something like that, they'll get me. What kind of what personality are you most like in Wakanda? What kind of, who do you most match in terms of the Black Panther? And you're like, oh, let me take that quiz, and it's quick and it's easy or whatever. But you don't realize that these third-party apps are taking information from your profile, and depending on the type of agreements they have with Facebook, this information can be used to your detriment, or can be used to be monetized or commercialized or whatever the case may be, and is sold to other agencies. So for example, with this data breach, the 87 million people on Facebook, their data was harvested and it was sold to a political consultancy agency, Cambridge Analytica. And this data from a quiz app was used to psychologically influence people through their news feeds, through the ads on their news feeds, in terms of who they would later probably vote for, or skew their thoughts around a political candidate, right? So you know that this was done in 2015, and this is just coming to bear. And of course, Facebook now has to go on this campaign where they're trying to defend what happened in 2015 and why was that case closed. And once they figured it out and they found out that their Facebook data had been breached, and they told this consultant agency to delete the data, did they follow up to actually make sure that this data was deleted? And apparently they did not do their due diligence to make sure that the data was deleted. So I'm not even sure what that exactly means. I don't know if I'm part of that 87 million number. All I know is that I think the app, which was a psychological testing app, I think was sent out to like 240,000 users. And by them doing the math, Facebook doing the math, given the number of Facebook friends that each of those users has, and how that, that information, or how those people connect with their friends, then it kind of leads into a whole other, it multiplies, right? So it's 87 million. So apparently starting Monday, we're supposed to get a news feed notification if you were one of those people who were hacked, right? And how to figure out, I don't know, what to do going forward in terms of your privacy, and how to better protect yourself going forward. If you do not receive this information on your newsfeed, I guess you're supposed to go into your help center if you want to look for yourself, because they may be rolling it out and it might not get to everyone. But I'm scared. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means in terms of my data, if I was breached. But I guess most of the people were in the United States, even though today I think in the news they said New Zealand, Indonesia, the UK. There are other people whose data was breached as a result of this third-party app. So anyway, my whole thing is with the Hope Hub, if I can editorialize, I guess, and give some more information in terms of things that I don't necessarily talk about. But what I do want to say is that it's important for all of us to realize that we have a social media digital footprint, and we need to care. We need to care about our data. We need to care about our privacy. We need to care about, who's privy to the information that we're posting on Facebook. And we also need to be cautious about the information that we're posting on Facebook, because there's a cost to the awesomeness of social sharing. There's a cost to the awesomeness and the benefits of being able to interact with the world on a global scale. Because Facebook, as much as we know that it's free, there's a cost to their business. And so their cost to their business, how they underwrite their business is through ads and through these third-party organizations, because that's how they make the money in order for us to continue to have this free space. But going forward, I bet Facebook will have a paid version of Facebook going forward, because that especially if the outcome of this is more regulation for Facebook and more requirements for them to monitor what's going on with their platform, they're going to need to pay the cost of that. And so they may end up saying, y'all need to pay for this service. We just can't keep offering it for free, right? So, so my notes here in terms of what is important for you guys to know is that, when you're out on the web, when you're out shopping, when you're out visiting different websites, there is a lot of information that makes up your digital footprint. And through cookies, through websites, information that you're typing in, the information that you're leaving behind, it's like footprints. It's like little trace data that you're leaving behind, which is really great in terms of the convenience. If you go back to maybe a website you had shopped on before, and already they're recommending certain items for you because they know beforehand when you had visited that website you bought khaki pants, and now when you go back to the website, they already know, based on what you bought, you may want to buy this shirt that goes with those khaki pants, right? Or based on what you bought last time, here is a coupon that we already identified for you to use. This is really awesome. It's very convenient when you go to websites and they already know who you are. You go to Target, you go to Walmart, they kind of already have a sense that you have a 3-year-old, you have, this data, you have a 6-year-old, you have an 8-year-old, you have a 12-year-old. They know that information from your previous activity, and so they're able to give that convenience of already giving you the information before you even need to put it in or type it in, or they know the colors you need and all of that. So it's great. It's great to have that for convenience, yes, but also understand the reason they keep this data, the reason they're harvesting this data, the reason they're keeping this trace cookies and data about you is because it's for profit. There are people who are part of commercial agencies, part of organizations, part of enterprise that need this information in order for them to profit from it. So there's a whole monetization behind what you see on your newsfeed. So the other day, let me put it this way. The other day, so there's monetization from these third parties. But the other day, this is what really, really scared me. And I know you guys probably get the same sense that your data is being used for more than just a coupon or more than just a recommendation. That when I had talked about being at a funeral this past week, and when I was at that funeral, I did not, and hand to God, I did not open up my phone and type in anything. I did not I did not check in. I did not post anything. I did not email anything while at the funeral because it's disrespectful, right? So I had my phone in my pocket. Do you know, I came back and I was talking to my husband, and I was telling him about this funeral, and then I was talking to him about the different funeral homes here in this area in my county, and talking about the specific funeral home that those individuals that I had gone to the funeral had used. I was talking to him about that particular company, and he was talking to me about other companies that he likes. These are funeral. Are they called funeral agencies? What are they called? The funeral homes. I go on my Facebook newsfeed, not even 5 minutes after I have that conversation with my husband, and an ad appears on my newsfeed an ad that's put forth by the funeral home of the funeral that I had gone to. Have you ever been tripped out? Tripped out. I mean, if it was an ad for sneakers or shoes or whatever, I've had that happen to me before, where I'm like, well, I'm running, I'm posting about running, I'm exercising, I'm posting about my treadmill or whatever the case may be, or I may be even on the Hope Hub and I'm talking about something, and then maybe something similar appears on my newsfeed. I'm like, okay, it's creepy, but I can live with it. Child, I went on Facebook and on the newsfeed was an ad from the funeral home. Child, I was like, yo, y'all trying to, I ain't dead. Like, where did that come from? I didn't talk about it at all. I didn't post about it. I didn't Google it. I didn't check in from the funeral. So that stuff is, they listening. Somebody is listening. I think our phones are listening to us, y'all. So it's not even just about the website, but it's this whole Big Brother thing coming to bear. Like, we've thought about it, in the past, like, ooh, Big Brother is following you. People are going to be able to track you, this and that and the other. Well, apparently they listening. Your phone is listening, y'all. So anyway, I think I read somewhere that the third parties that are out there tracking data, we have about 200 on the internet. And then the ones that are actually tracking agencies are about 630 agencies that do that and store and commercialize and monetize your data. So why is it important? It's about protecting you, protecting your reputation, protecting your freedom, protecting your finances. All those things are linked into this whole social media sphere. Not social media, this whole digital footprint thing. It's important that you guys realize, I'm talking to myself as well, realize the importance of privacy and the importance of safeguarding your data. I know today with Zuckerberg, God, I'm going on. Zuckerberg, when he was being questioned, one of the things he was asked about is their policy, their privacy policy or their user agreements. And basically the gist of it is that user agreement is ish. It don't mean nothing to us as users, because first of all, he's like, I don't think people really, the vast majority of people, I don't think they read it. And that is the truth. I don't remember reading the user agreement. And it's essentially to protect Facebook from legalities and not really to inform the user agreement. It's more for them than it is for us, right? But, that being said, Zuckerberg is 35 years old. All right, he's 33 years old. He's a young guy, billionaire. I don't know if he's a billionaire or millionaire. He's worth, I think it's 65 million or something like that. He didn't graduate from college. He's vastly successful. But let me tell you, when I saw him on that hot seat today, I felt for him, because, we love Facebook. It's a platform that, no other person, I don't know, it's a one of a kind. He's a first, only, he's first, he's only, he's different. Even when they ask him about Amazon, who's your competitor, he talks about Amazon, Google, I don't know who else. But then really the congressman that asked him that question said, no. It doesn't look like you have any competitors. I think Facebook is a monopoly. And to tell you the truth, it is a monopoly. It is a monopoly. And he has a huge responsibility for the 2.2 billion people who are on this platform. And I feel for him, because he can't really go back and see anybody else who's done what he's done and compare notes or get advice, because he's a first only difference. First only different. I'm saying that because it's specific to something I want to talk about in a couple minutes once I finish this whole thing. So with the digital footprint, protecting your reputation, protecting your freedom, protecting your finances, protecting your life, I guess. That's imperative when you think about the digital footprint. And I'm emphasizing reputation because I know that some of the things that happen on social media, there are some people who post things where they know very good and well that this may be something that may damage their reputation. But think about it this way. You may, there's some data that you may post which is inferential, like the Facebook or other companies or maybe an employer or someone who's investigating you may take that information and infer certain things about your character and infer certain things about your reputation. So for example, you go to a bar and you're not drinking, you're the designated driver, but yet that night you pay for the drinks, right? You pay for all these drinks. And then later on you go pay the parking leaving the bar. And then you go pay for the gas with all these people who are drunk in your car, right? But guess what? The data footprint from all these transactions and maybe all the pictures that people were taking at the party of people drinking and you sitting there at the table with all the drinks and then the receipt and then the ticket from the parking garage and then the gas receipt could infer that you were drinking and driving. Let's say you're a commercial driver and maybe someone is investigating an accident maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks from then. And you're trying to say, no, I didn't drink. Well, if they put an investigator on your behind, guess what? It's going to show you was there and you was drinking. Nobody really can tell any different. You may be talking up and trying to say something, but nah, they ain't going to take your word for it, right? So that's how people infer information. Or maybe you happen to be in a place where a crime was committed, but your phone data shows that that's where you were. Inference shows that the inferred information from you being in that particular criminal situation, may infer that you were part of the gang that did that crime, right? Or maybe you were at a human rights match. I don't know. And someone posts something, right? And then just from that, you could be very well, actually with human rights marches, it's great. But then when you're in a country where there's no freedom of speech, oh my God, he's about to put up my gutter. Don't break my window. I hope he don't break my window. Anyway, so you may be at a human rights march, but in a country where that's frowned upon, where you could be arrested or tortured or something. And someone, social media, there you are, your selfie, blah, blah, blah. Here you are, arrested, tortured, something, dead. I know I'm taking it all over the place, but that's what I'm talking about in terms of inference. Or another way that your finances, for example, you may be on Facebook talking about my pet name, and that pet name is on Facebook, and you use the same pet name as part of your 3 questions that your bank asks, what is your pet's name? And using that and other social media information, they're able to hack into your account, right? You may have information that you're trying not to share. Do you know that whole check-in and geographical location and GPS information? Companies can tell you there's sometimes when I'm posting something and I don't even mean to post where I'm at, but the Facebook or the app that I'm using automatically posts my GPS location. So maybe I'm at a cancer center, right? And all of a sudden now it's out in the world that that's where I was at, and then people start inferring that I have this particular condition. Or I'm at a mental or a substance abuse facility and people start inferring information regarding that, right? Or there's so many ors, but people take information out of context. So just be very, very, very careful. And then also employers use social media nowadays, because especially if you're posting to public, they can see your Facebook information and make a determination regarding your character, regarding certain information, whether they want to hire you because they saw what you're posting on social media, right? So let's see. I think that's what it was. Just be careful about free Wi-Fi, about mobile apps, especially the ones that are collecting information, and because you don't know what they're using that information for. What are they using it for? Why do they want your profile, your this, your that, your the other? Why do they need that? And then connecting Facebook to Instagram, connecting Facebook to everything that you're signing into. No, that's not good either. So you have to be very, 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 very careful. You want to say hi to the Hope Hub?
I'm thinking to know what's about God. That's it.
Oh, okay. What do you want to say about God?
Well, God says, don't be someone you're not. I'm serious.
I like that. Don't be someone you're not. God says, don't be someone you're not.
And who was banging?
There's someone putting up something on the gutter. But anyway, so I'm off of my soapbox in terms of the digital footprint. But they listening, y'all. But anyway, the other thing that I had wanted to talk about was I'm reading a book called The Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. And the funny thing is, I was reading it and I wasn't underlining anything or highlighting anything because I'm used to reading library books, and this is actually not a library book. It's one that I bought from Barnes & Noble. And I'm halfway through and I'm like, why wasn't I underlining? Because I'm used to the library books that don't allow you to put years on the books or any information to the book. So anyway, The Year of Yes is a phenomenal book. Well, let me finish it first. I'm halfway through, but already it's just amazing to me. And I guess that's why I was talking about first only difference, because that's what Shonda Rhimes is. Shonda Rhimes is a titan. She's a giant in her industry, not just as a writer in terms of her purpose, in terms of what she's done, but just in general. I'm going to end this Facebook feed really soon because there's someone hammering at my gutter because we're fixing something. We had something fall down recently when we had a snowstorm. Our gutter fell, and this guy just came and told us he can do it. So we're having him do it. But anyway, so what I wanted to say is that Shonda, let me see what she says. If you watch her TED Talk, it's amazing. But what she does talk about is the fact that she owns the most wanted real estate on TV, which is Thursday nights, right? Thank God it's Thursday. She has 4 wonderful, spectacular shows back to back on Thursdays. I don't know if they're all on Thursdays, but she does a phenomenal job. And on her TED Talk, which is very unlike this book, which I think she wrote this book in 2014 or 2015 after her Year of Yes, you can see that she has come into her own and she's unapologetic in terms of how in terms of who she is and what she's been able to achieve. So one of the things that she says on her TED Talks is that one episode of one of her shows costs $3 to $6 million. So call it $5 million. Can you imagine one episode of Scandal? $5 million. That's the average, okay? And then she has over 15 episodes for each season of each show. And then she has these 4 power shows, right, that account for 70 hours of TV a season at a price tag of $350 million. And then she goes on her TED Talk and talks about how all these shows are not only viewed here in the United States, but they're viewed in 260 countries and territories. 260 countries and territories. People sit around their TV, around their campfires, and they watch Shondaland. They watch Shonda Rhimes. She's amazing. So The Year of Yes, which is what I'm reading, what I loved about it is that what she says is, first of all, she's human, which I was very, very surprised. I'm going to end this live stream. This man is driving me crazy. Okay, so we're having hammering going on, but I'll try and finish up. So Shonda owns. So she was talking about the life lessons that she learned during the year of yes, and so that's what I'm kind of plowing through. But essentially, a year of yes, which is what I want you to embrace, because I'm going to embrace that as much as possible, is a year where you decide to do the uncomfortable. Those things that scare you, those things that are fearful to you, those things that are stretching you, those things that make you want to lose your mind, are those things that she decided to do as an individual. So that's what the year of yes is. So doing the stuff that terrifies you. And she uses basically a word that I love. She says counterintuitive insanity. That's what she did, is just counterintuitive insanity. Is you do all the things that freak you out, the things that make you feel like you're in the wilderness, the things that make you feel like you're clawing through bushes, the things that make you feel like you're climbing a mountain, the things that make you feel like you're gonna get out of breath, you're losing your mind. That those are the things you do. And she did that year of yes, and she embraced public speaking, which she did an awesome public speech at Dartmouth University that year. She embraced weight loss. She lost 120 pounds in her year of yes. She embraced saying yes to her children in terms of just playing and being present with her children. She embraced acting. She acted on the Mindy Project. She embraced doing live television. She went on the Jimmy Kimmel show. She embraced, different television and invitations, the Kennedy Honors. She went to the Kennedy Honors and sat in a box with Barack Obama and Michelle Obama. So all these things, of course, you guys are saying, okay, multimillionaire, your issues are not like my issues. Shonda, you ain't nothing like me. You have the luxury of being a multimillionaire. But really, at the end of the day, as much money as we all have as individuals, or as little as we have, we all face the same issues, the same fears. So she had a terrible fear of being around people and making small talk. And so for years, you never saw Shonda Rhimes at all. She had a fear of public speaking. She said when she would go to the Oprah Winfrey show by force to go on the Oprah show, she would see red, like completely red or white, and not remember anything that happened from the point she saw Oprah. It's like she went in a coma. And during the time before that, she would be sweating and losing her mind in terms of doing that. So, if that's something that you fear, one of the things she says in her speech is that doing that thing that you fear actually is what ends up eliminating that fear. Just by doing what it is you fear, it eliminates the fear altogether. So her fear of public speaking, she forced herself to public speak, and she did amazing. And then after that, she did like 3, 4, 5 other public speeches, and she just kind of grew into it, and it was no longer a fear for her, right? So she said yes to so many things. And tomorrow I'll talk a little bit about her Dartmouth speech. I don't really have time, but basically with the lessons that I'm learning today in terms of this book and the things that I wanted to share was that she shares that saying no is like a slow suicide. Saying no to life is like a slow suicide. Saying no is like closing the doors to opportunity. Saying no is like just hiding. Sorry, do you need something? Saying no is how you start to lose yourself. Saying no to a vacation, saying no to travel, saying no to speaking up, saying no to invitations to things, because she always used to say no to every single thing. But once she started saying, this is my year of yes, and when someone tells me, are you able to do this? Instead, not like acquiescing to everything, but those things that you're doing because you're fearful, not for any other reason except that you think you can't, and you think you're too scared, or you're afraid of judgment. She just decided, look, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it, because once you are able to climb that mountain, once you're able to go through those bushes and get all those bruises and fall forward and whatever it is that you're scared of and get the scrapes and whatever it is that you think will happen to you by facing that fear, at the end of the day, you will emerge and there'll be a clearing and you'll look up and the sun will be in your face and you'll feel the warmth and you'll know you are of value. You will know that you did it. So she is amazing. She's a mentor from afar. Shonda Rhimes is my new mentor from afar. And I will venture to say that Shonda is just like us in a lot of ways. And she is funny as all get up. She is funny. When she talks about being in her house and writing and she has mismatched pajamas, her bottoms do not match her top. The bottoms have a hole on her foot. The bottoms and the tops are not even of the same material and they're not even of the same year or whatever. She says that's who she was before the year of yes. And so you're thinking, oh, she's living this inspired life and she wakes up like this and she's just amazing. She's Beyonce of writing, which she is. She has her brain is global, as she says. Her brain is global. Her shows are loved worldwide. When Mark Dreamy, I was watching Grey's Anatomy like years and years ago. It's been like 12 seasons or 13 seasons, I don't know. But when Mark Dreamy died, there was a Times article about how to mourn a TV character. That's how imaginative she is and how influential this woman is. But at the same time, she still struggled with balance in terms of her life and her children because she loves to work. But yet she has 3 children. She still struggles with fear. She still struggles with all the things that we struggle with. So anyway, that's my Hope Hub, y'all. Have an amazing night. I didn't see any comments or any people viewing. I don't think I saw people come in and out. But the last time I did this, afterwards I saw comments. So I do apologize if anybody's on and I just can't see it right now. But y'all have a good night. And see you on the flip side. Bye.